on offense. Dawson Pendergrass from Mineola now joins us on Sic'Em 365 Radio and 365 Sports. Dawson, thanks for your time. Want to get to quite a bit. We appreciate that. Obviously, you had some other offers. Why Baylor?
I feel like Baylor was the best fit for me. It's just coaches here are so genuine and straight to earth with you. They don't just tell you what you want to hear. They tell you how it is, and I like that about it.
Dawson, what position do they like you? I know you play both sides of the ball, running back, on defense as well. Where do they see your career taking once you get to Baylor?
As of now, they're seeing me as kind of a bigger, maybe third down running back, I'm assuming. Yes, sir.
So some different options out there for you, but a bigger running back to start off with. Who was the first coach that you kind of started to talk to and get to know a little bit?
The first coach, I didn't really – the one it was my sophomore year because they weren't allowed to talk to me really. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of just they offered me. It was by Coach Mateos. He's my area coach.
Yeah, and he actually, I learned this. He actually recruited East Texas when he was working at Texas State, so he knows the area and the ins and outs pretty well. Now, Coach Blackwell, your head coach, Luke Blackwell, said to me earlier today, and he said this when you were named to my website's All-Smoky team, is despite his talent, he is still the hardest working young man in our program. And he's also a high character kid, both on and off the field. That's kind of what it seems like Baylor is looking at. That you got to play. You got to be able to win games with them, but they're looking at a certain type of player. How much of that came into conversation as well?
It actually was a lot. I remember Coach Rand always told me he really respected my grades and how I acted on the field. Try not to be too self-centered, just being humble.
How much of a nightmare were you when you lined up at wide receiver on occasion for a defense?
Every third down, third and long, we would just put me out there and try to throw it up and take a shot to get the first down every once in a while. Just run a go route.
Yeah, we're seeing some of those highlights. You jump up and get it, that's for sure.
Everything's a touchdown, almost everything. And hey, Dawson, I think this is a fair question. I know East Texas pretty darn well, covered them, as you know, for a long time, and even now. What would you say if someone didn't offer you? Why would that be? Would it be because they don't think Mineola plays a hard schedule or against good competition?
That probably might be one of the main reasons. Maybe because we're smaller. He just doesn't. They don't think I'm used to the competition I'm going against. But Mineola, we've had a record of having a couple of D1 athletes come out. We've had 3 in the past 4 years go to D1 programs.
No, I know. There's no question that the talent is there. And again, when in East Texas, there's mostly our 4A schools and below, and I know Mineola is in Class 3A.
Yes, sir.
What were the other schools who recruited you, the others that gave you offers, whether they were Division I or others? What did they say about what you might be in college?
It was mainly 2 positions. It was a linebacker or a running back. That was just either it. It was just that was all.
Yeah, because we're watching you catch balls.
Receiver looks pretty good from his highlight tape, but it looks like you can do a lot of everything. Just, Dawson, take us through the recruiting process. I mean, obviously you had a few offers. You decide to make the decision. Why now? Why did this seem like the right time? And do you feel kind of a sense of relief being able to go ahead and make your decision?
Yes, sir. I feel a little relief, and just Baylor's the only place I want to be at. I'm not waiting for any other school. I just already know where I want to go, and it's just no point of waiting anymore.
Well, people change their mind, and I'm not suggesting you will, but I had a feeling. I talked to Luke, your head coach, about this. When I saw you committed, I thought there's no question. This is it for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it just kind of heard about you and felt that was the case.
Yes, sir.
Now, Dawson, what did Coach Mateos, or who did you talk to today? Was it Coach Mateos? Was it Aranda? How did that go down today?
It was actually last night, but yesterday I called Coach Mateos. I told him the news. He seemed pretty pumped up about it. He told me he's going to get me on a call with Coach Aranda. And about maybe 20 minutes later, he told me to call Coach Aranda. And I just called him. I told him about the news. We talked about 5 minutes, and he told him how excited they were and how excited I was to be there. Yes, sir. That was about it.
What's it like getting to talk to Dave Aranda and getting to know him a little bit? He's obviously a little bit of a different cat, so to speak.
Oh, it's an honor. It's cool. You're always seeing these people on TV and stuff, and it's nice to like think that you're talking to them. It's kind of hard to take in.
What about Baylor's winning now? And they have had a really good year, and then a down year with COVID, and then last year their best year ever in the history of the program at 12-2. How much did that play into your decision?
Really, honestly, it wasn't really the winning that did. It was more of the coaches and just the school in general, the facilities and everything like that.
All right. So do you arrive in June, or are you gonna? What's your schedule?
I'm gonna come for the official visit either June 10th, 17th, or 24th. I don't know which day yet.
Okay. Now, your stats, for those who don't know, he ran for 2,004 yards, 26 touchdowns, 356 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. And then on defense, 47 tackles, 3 interceptions, a defensive touchdown. And didn't you miss a game or two? Weren't you injured?
Yes, sir. I missed 2.
You missed a couple of games, and you still put up those kind of crazy numbers.
Yes, sir.
What was it like? What did you learn about not being able to play? Did that teach you something when you couldn't play the game?
Yeah, I just thought it kind of made me just respect it more. Just I wanted to be out there. It kind of made me more hungry.
Dawson, what is your favorite play? We're watching this. You can't see this. We're watching some of your game film. What is, when the play is called, your favorite play where you say, all right, I'm getting 6 right here?
My favorite play?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. I like it when I'm when we have or in Wildcat, I'm kind of like reading it, like a power read.
Yeah, that seems like it would be fun. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Yes,
Dawson, do you know anybody on the team currently? I know that there's some East Texas guys. Jordan Jenkins from Lindale is a recent addition, just from a year or two ago. But do you have any friends on the team or guys that you're familiar with already?
I don't have any people on there that I know personally, but I've heard of like Jordan at Lindale. Mm-hmm. Lindale's not too far from Mineola, about like a 15-minute drive.
So you have a year to go. Mineola has had a pretty good run. I know last year didn't go quite the way you guys thought it should or wanted to. Give us an idea of how you are as a team coming back next year.
We're eager to prove everybody wrong. We're kind of looked down upon right now, and I think that's just making us more pumped. Everybody's up in the weight room every day. Everybody's working hard, and it's just we're ready for it.
Dawson, what are your grades like?
My grades are pretty good. I think I stand at like a 3.7 GPA.
All right, that's more than pretty good for most of us in this particular studio right now. Hey, thanks for your time. Congratulations. Are you glad it's over?
Yes, sir. I'm just glad I know where I want to be now.
Thanks for your time, Dawson. Congratulations.
No
Dawson Pendergrass, 6'3", 215-pounder. He kind of, you could see him, he just kind of makes plays.
Yeah.
And I saw some stuff on the message boards, and that's why I asked him about Mineola, the schedule, and who they play. And it's a fair question. But Mineola's had players go on to play at schools in Texas and elsewhere as well.
I mean, are people really still doubting this coaching staff at this point and their ability to find talent? I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. And, not everybody's going to be a hit, but I think it's just so silly to go, oh, look at the school size or look at the district or whatever. It's like, man, there's plenty of guys that never get discovered because people are too snobby to look beyond South Lake Carroll and Duncanville and the big brands, And I think that the truly great talent, and Mineola's not some hole in the wall. Like, I mean, they've been in state championship games here recently. Didn't they play in a couple of them, like back-to-back here in the last several years?
Yeah.
So it's not like they've been just under a rock or anything. And East Texas, I mean, I could go down the list of hundreds of players that have been stars in college football from the last 20 years from East Texas. And there's a lot of talent out there. So great addition, just based on his excitement level and clearly the fact that they wanted him and he wanted them. And that's all I need to know. I don't need to break it down beyond that. If Dave Aranda and Eric Mateos think you can play ball for them, that's good enough for me. I'm not, some football genius that knows better than they do. So, I don't want to, and I don't even talk more about that because I don't want to take away from what's a great moment for this young man. Congrats to him. That sounds like a big, exciting deal. And, he adds to the class as that they're trying to, close out here. They're about, I'd say, a little over halfway done now or about halfway. at this point, going, a few more months to December, they're on a good track right now. So congrats to Dawson Pendergrass.
Looks like he's got long strides when he runs.
Yep.
And,
and they can toy around with him, clearly. I mean, you don't have to put him in a bottle right now. You can sit there and let him play out his senior year, and then once he gets on campus, is he a running back? Is he a wide receiver? Is he a linebacker? I mean, there's time to figure all that out.
I text a couple of coaches. What I try to do is I talk to Luke Blackwell, his head coach, and then I talk to a couple of coaches by text in his district or who played him, and he said he's a beast. And you hear that. I said, okay, what do you mean? He goes, he's a beast. He's a hard to handle, and it's going to be interesting where they end up playing him, but he will find a way to get on the field. To give you a little history about Mineola, back in the mid-'60s, they had a team win 11 games in 1966. They didn't win 10 games or more again until 2014 when they went 40-6 over 3 years, played in a couple of state championships, including winning one with Joe Drennan as their head coach. When we come back, we are not done. Max